Alright, so let's talk about something most people don't really believe is true until they see it for themselves or feel it for themselves. Because Ibogaine, it's best known for its really amazing, addiction, um, interruption, wiping out cravings, and that's essentially what gets most of the headlines. But the truth is, and something that a lot of people miss, is it's not just for really powerful drug dependency, it's just as effective for obsessive thinking, negative thought loops, destructive thought patterns that run people literally into the ground. I've seen it with loads and loads of addicts, yeah, but I've also seen it with people who've never touched drugs, they've never touched heroin, they've never touched pills, and they're just literally trapped in their own mind. And that's what today's video is about. It's how Ibogaine can give you literally instant headspace after sometimes decades of obsessive thinking. So I want to share with you a particular gentleman's story who I worked with recently. And he came to me after living in his own head, basically. Constant worry, constant loops of self-doubt, fear. And he was, very, very apprehensive. Well, naturally apprehensive, which is very fair. Anyone looking to take Ibogaine is going to have a lot of questions. And obviously he did have a lot of questions. In fact, before this treatment, weeks before his treatment, he was asking me almost the same things, almost the same questions, word for word, every single day. And what if it doesn't work? What if I lose control? What if I see the devil? What if it makes things worse? Now listen, that's normal. When your mind has been chewing on the same anxieties for years and years, it's hard to imagine any other way of being. Obsession and obsessive thought loops become the background soundtrack of your life, essentially. Well, here's what happens. Within 24 hours of taking Ibogaine, the noise had stopped completely. And I don't mean he was numbed out, sedated. What I mean is he was completely clear. The same man that couldn't stop cycling through doubts and fears woke up with a sense of calm and spaciousness he literally hadn't felt since he was a child. And he said it was like finally exhaling after holding his breath for decades. The best way I can describe it, it's like, for anyone who's ever meditated, it's like getting the results you'd get from months of meditation in one night. Meditation trains you to watch your own thoughts, to create space between you and the chatter. And that takes months, sometimes years of daily practice. Ibogaine, what that does is gives you that space overnight, silences the noise, and it shows you the root of the loops. It gives you back your hands on the steering wheel without any resistance or static. Yes, there's a huge metaphysical component to Ibogaine. Some would call it a soul retrieval methodology. That's what I call it, a soul retrieval methodology. It gives you irrefutable evidence that we are way, way, way more than just this physical meat suit that we're driving around. But that's another deep dive for another video. Alongside that metaphysical component, there's also solid science. And research shows that Ibogaine acts on multiple receptor systems in the brain. It regulates dopamine, serotonin pathways, and obviously opioid receptors as well, cleans those off. But arguably, most importantly, it stimulates neuroregenesis, which means it grows new neurological pathways in your brain, which means your brain literally starts to repair itself. Years of addiction and trauma carve ruts into your brain. And what Ibogaine does is give these a chance to reroute. Think about it like wiping a corrupted hard drive and reinstalling a brand new operating system. There's recent studies that back this up. as well. Its metabolite, which is called neuroibogaine, promotes the growth of axons and dendrites, which are like little branches of the brain. The more branches, the more flexibility. The more flexibility, the more connectivity. Less being stuck in the same toxic thought loops. So when someone says, it feels like my mind's being reset, that's not just a metaphor, that's literal biology, that's what's happened. But touching on the metaphysical layer, because it is quite important, it's not just about the neurons, it's about consciousness as well. And the gentleman that I'm talking about didn't just notice a quieter mind, he noticed perspective. He said it felt like instead of being in the car, he could finally see the whole road. And what obsessive thoughts and what obsessive thinking does to you, it robs you of your perspective because you're in it, you're so close to it. The problem feels infinite. It doesn't feel like it's going to be any other way at all. Ibogaine pulls you back. It shows you you're not the one in the car as the passenger anymore, just being driven wherever somebody wants to take you. You are the one at the side of the road watching the traffic go by. People refer to it as a soul level clarity, remembering who you actually are. Some call it meeting the higher self. The Boetis have got a translation that says eating God. Whatever language it says, it's the same. Where there was noise before, there's clarity. Where there was chatter and confusion, there's peace. Where there was compulsion, there's freedom. So, when I tell people Ibogaine can literally give you instant headspace after years of obsessive thinking, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating at all. I've seen it happen over and over again. I've seen it happen very recently, and I've lived it myself. That doesn't mean the work's over. The gentleman's still got to integrate. He's still got to build these habits up over time and live by that clarity. But Ibogaine has given him a very, very, very good starting point that most people never reach, not with therapy, not with meditation, not with years of trying. So if you're stuck in your head, running painful thought loops, just know that it is possible to find silence again. It is possible to reset. And sometimes, literally, all it takes is one night with the right medicine. If this resonates with you, if you think that I can help you, and I'd love to help you, please reach out, please get in touch, and we can chat in the strictest of confidence. All right, people, be well. Thanks for listening.